Hello everybody, welcome back to Code Shots with Profanis. Moving to Angular Signal Forms is exciting, but what do you do with all those great custom reactive forms you already built? Throw them away? Redevelop from scratch? Definitely not. In this video, I will show you the simple solution for using your existing components and getting Signal Forms working. Without any further delay, let's get started. So let's start by seeing what we currently have in terms of reactive forms, where we have the user profile form, which is a form group, and then I have the first name, a form control required, last name, form control required, and then what I have is the contact details. So let's assume that the contact details here represents something that is very complex in your own project that you're currently working on. And for that reason, we decided to move all of this kind of complexity into a service and grab that form group, that complex form group, using this method. So if I go there, we can see that definitely this is not a complex one, but let's assume that this has a complexity in terms of form group, form controls, form array, and different validators. And what we can see here is that we have just the street, number, and postal code. No more than that. So let me close that and go back. So this is what we have in terms of reactive forms. Now let's go to the HTML, where what we have is just a mat form field here for my first name, mat form field here for the last name, and then what I have here is the contact details, which this one represents the complexity of the form group that we saw previously. So if I enter here into the contact details, we can see that this requires a form group. And then if I go to the HTML, all I have here is just a custom input wrapper. We will see what this is. Form control name street, another custom input wrapper for the number, and again the same thing, custom input wrapper for the postal code. So I know this is not about reactive forms. This video is about signal forms. So stay there and I will explain very soon how to reuse all of these kind of components. So let's now go into the definition of the custom input wrapper. What we have here is that we are grabbing the control and we are based on the NgControl. So if I go now into the NgControl, we can see that this is the base class that all form control based directives extend. So this is something for reactive forms, right? Now, based on this control, I have just this kind of computed property is required, and whenever this returns true, what I'm doing, let me scroll up, I'm just displaying here this kind of asterisk symbol. Nice. This is very simple, all right? So let's now go to the browser to see what this looks like. So we have the first name, we have the last name, and as you can see, we have different UI representation where I have the street, the asterisk symbol, which denotes that this is required, the number, postal code, and then we'll have the button, which is currently disabled. But as soon as I start typing anything here, I will add my street, the number, and then postal code. It requires to be 5 digits. We can see that this is now enabled. All right, so this is what we currently have in terms of reactive forms. So let's now go back to VS Code, close everything, and let's again focus into this old user profile component. Now, let's assume the following, that we would like to have a new feature, and into that new feature, what we're going to do is to reuse this kind of contact details, which, like I said previously, this is something really complex, and we don't want to rebuild that from scratch, and we don't want to retest that from scratch. So this is one of the things that we will see in this video, and then if you remember, into the contact details, we also have this custom input wrapper, which again, this is based on the NgControl. Can we use that using signal forms? Let's explore that. So I will do the following. I will close everything, and now I will jump to my new user profile component, which let's assume that this is something new in terms of functionality. And what I have here is my custom input wrapper for the username and custom input wrapper for the age. And then I have the contact detail, which currently is commented out, and we will see later on how to use that. So at first, let's go to the source code and I will create my form. And I will name this user form, something like that, equals I want to have just a form here, a form helper function, and I'm going to have just a signal, and the signal will have two fields. One of them will be my username, and the other one will be the age. All right, so I will have here username, which be just an empty string, and I want also to have age. Let's again have this an empty string. Now, I will grab the user form. Let's go to the HTML and just have here my field directive. Field equals, and then we'll have to provide the path. And the path will be userform.username. And now let's do the same thing, thanks Copilot, for the age, where we'll have the user form age. Awesome, nice. So to see if this actually is working, I have here the submit form, where what we can do is just console log the form values. And I will grab my user form.value, and no more than that, just to console log that. So let's now go to the browser to see if we can reuse this custom input wrapper. And it seems that we do not have any error in the console, so let me add here the username and then an age, and click submit. And it seems that we have here username, Profanis, and age 1212. Nice. So this actually is working, but how come? If we check the code into the Angular repository of the field directive, what we can see is that it has this kind of provider. They are providing an NgControl, and the factory of that is inject field, and then it grabs this get or create NgControl. So let's go there. If I scroll down, I expect to have this method somewhere here, which is right here. And it says that lazily instantiates a fake NgControl for this field. So if we now follow this class, the Interop NgControl, so let me click this guy, we can see that the implementation of this nice class retains the payload of the actual NgControl, most of the fields of the NgControl actually, where we have the value, and the value, what this is, we're grabbing the state from the field, and then we're grabbing the value. The same thing is happening for the valid, for the invalid, pending, disabled. Let's see what else do we have. Enabled, we have the errors, we have the pristine, we have dirty, we have touched, the status, and it also has the hash validator and update value and validity, methods that currently exist in NgControl. So despite that signals forms are not based on NgControl, they're providing this nice way of providing the fake NgControl that allows an interoperability with a wider range of components designed to work with reactive forms. So this is an amazing way and makes our transition from reactive forms to signal forms really easy. So let's now go back and see what we have here. And actually, let's go back to the VS Code, and we can see that now we have the custom input wrapper, and we saw why this is actually working. And you know what? Let's focus now here. We have the input, and we also have here a custom input. We do not have a regular input. This is just a custom input. And if I go there, this is based on a ControlValueAccessor. So either using NgControl with signal forms or using ControlValueAccessor with signal forms, they both work really nice. So let's now see how to deal with this one. How can we reuse something that it already requires a form group, and at the same time we have a helper function that it returns the form group? So let's do the following. I will remove the comments. I have the contact details. Of course, here we have an issue because it requires to have the contact details form group. You know what? So let's go to the source code, and I will do the following. Here I would like to have my contact details form group, and I know that this is based on the contact details service, and the method of that is this one. So now I have my contact details form group. I'm injecting this service that actually returns just the group, no more than that. Okay, so let me close that, and now I will do the following. When I'm submitting the form, I would like also to console log the contact details. So let's have something like that, contact details, and this will be the value of the actual form group. Nice. So if I go now to the HTML, we can see that we do not have any error. Okay, so let's go back to the browser to see what we have. Currently, no errors, and we can see that we have the street, number, and the postal code. Nice. So let's start typing. So my username will be Profanis, the age will be 12, random street, random number, and random postal code. So if I click now submit, what we can see is that we have the username and we have also the contact details. Nice. So this is one of the steps that we managed to build them together. But still, this is not yet there. So what I would like now to do is the following. Can I disable the submit button when the whole form is invalid? So let's give that a try. I would like here to have disabled when actually my user form, I'm grabbing the state, is invalid. So this is what I want to do, okay? So if I go now back to the browser and refresh the page, I will start typing the username, I will start typing the age, and we can see that this is enabled, despite that I didn't provide anything related to street, number, and postal code. And you know what? Just to make that work even better, I will mark the username and the age as required, and at the same time we expect to see actually here the asterisk symbol. So let me go back to VS Code and let's do that really quick. So here into my form, I would like to have my root path, and for my root path I want to have required, which one? My root path dot age, and I will do the same thing for username. So again, if we go back to browser, we can see now that we have this kind of nice asterisk, which is based on the NgControl, and we can see that the button now is disabled. But if I start typing anything here and here, the button becomes enabled automatically. But here we have an issue. We want to control this kind of form group as well. So let me show you the solution. So here, what I can do is to have my contact details, I will name it however I like, and I will link the contact details form group. But not only that, I have also to change the form to the compatForm. So if we look up, we can see that compatForm is part of the Angular Forms Signals Compat package. This is a helper function for a compatibility between reactive forms and signal forms. So now we expect the user form validity, and I mean this guy here, to work as expected. So again, let's go back to browser to see what we actually have. Let's open the console, and I will type here Profanis. I will tap any age, and if I scroll down, I expect this to be disabled. And this is my random street number and the postal code. And nice, it seems that we made that to work as expected, just by using the compatForm helper function. What will happen now if I click submit? Well, what is happening is that we are console log the age, the username, and the contact details. And the contact details is the actual form group. And then we have the other contact details, which is the second console log with the actual value. How can we combine them now together? This is up to us to write nice helper functions to achieve that. So let me show you just a way that this could work. I don't want to have two different things. All I want to do is just to have one console log and have everything from my form. But the very first thing is that I need somehow to find out if a property from this value is an actual reactive form, and I can do that using this kind of function. It's a reactive control, and this makes sure that the actual value is an instance of the abstract control. And then I can just have another helper function, which is this guy here, where it loops over the form value, and then what it does is that it has just this condition. If this is a reactive control, then just grab the control.value, otherwise the value as is. So let me show you how this actually works. I will remove the console log, and here what I want to have is just to console log this function providing the actual value, this thing. So I have my extract compat values providing the whole value from my user form. So let's now go back to the browser to see what we have. And if I start typing, I have my username, I have the age, random street, random number, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I click the submit button, what we can see is that we have age, username, and then we have the contact details, which is based on the helper function that we have just developed. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and do not forget to subscribe and click the ring bell. See you in the next video.